Although I will say,
microsite, which is raveclubs.com/ISE. So this has been the busiest ISE.
hey, this is Gary Kayye from Rave. We are here at ISE 2025 in the Appspace, Appspace booth. I'm here with Thomas. What's your last name, Thomas? Because you said it was hard to pronounce, but you've got your own acronym.
Yeah, Thomas Philippart Defoy, or TPDF.
Philippart Defoy. I can actually say that, TPDF. All right, so Thomas, who's Appspace?
Appspace has been on the market for 20 years or so.
Yeah, I know you for digital signage originally.
Correct. We started with digital signage, and over the time we became really a workplace experience platform to power the hybrid workplace. I mean, the buzzwords, but that's what we do. We're a workplace experience platform.
All right, so we're going to start over here to talk. Well, like I said, I knew you originally from digital signage for your CMS, right? I mean, you had the first that I recall signage CMS like 20 years ago.
That's right. The CMS focused on large enterprise customers, really to power large format displays with awesome content, which obviously at ISE makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Now, over the years, we've evolved. A lot more devices have popped up in the market. Those MTR endpoints, for example, are a great location to put content for employees, whether it's corporate content or user adoption content on how to use the technology. So we're super happy to present MTR here with running Appspace natively built in, so that now those screens, when they're not used for video conferencing, they're digital signs.
Yeah, so it allows you to take any MTR room and turn it into a digital signage. So in between meetings, or instead of just staring at nothing, you're staring at whatever communication you want to send. Now, well, first off, I should tell you, we're going to go around and shoot individual videos on all of these. So if you don't catch what we're talking about, go to ravepubs.com/ISE, type in Appspace in the video search window. How easy is this to integrate? Like, what if I'm an integrator, what do I got to do? What do I got to know?
It's pretty easy because we build Appspace inside MTR software. Okay. So you just set it up from there, and it will just deploy the Appspace app to the endpoint, and then you just register it back to Appspace, and then decide what content playlist you're allocating to it.
And do you pay a seat license, a user license, or a room license?
So the good news is we don't monetize features. So everything we're going to see throughout the booth are included in an Appspace subscription. What we monetize are devices that register back to Appspace, and when I'm meaning devices, workplace devices, an MTR endpoint, a room scheduling panel, a digital sign, and then we monetize users that log into our app that we'll see later on the phone or desktop.
So there's an opportunity for an integrator to make a percentage of that revenue as well.
Correct. You can make revenue, recurring revenue, annual recurring revenue based on user licenses and workplace device licenses.
Perfect. Come on, we're going to kind of come through here and let's talk about sort of how you've transformed the company. This is kind of like the Appspace tunnel, I guess.
That's right, we call it the tunnel. That's where employees can discover on their own the different aspect of our product, understanding how Appspace can be used at home, in the office, on the go, or on vision. And simply a user will come in and say touch to begin, and they'll be able to interact and understand what is the journey in the out of the office, understanding around our wayfinding solutions, and other awesome features we have.
Yeah, and like I said, we're going to go around and shoot videos on each one of these stations. Where are we heading next? Excuse me there, sir. Sorry. See here? All right, excellent. So, well, these are beautiful.
Well, thanks. A lot of awesome devices.
You're driving a lot of the content, obviously.
All right, so if you think about it, digital sign is content on large format displays. This is a smaller digital sign. Right. And what we build is a room scheduling experience on it. So those devices, whether they're Logitech or Navigators or Neats, or there's a lot of different vendors, we run our app on it that will display the room scheduling data, allow a user to interact with it, end a meeting or start a meeting from here, and just make sure they're booking that workspace.
And is this so it doesn't matter which room sign you use, the software, the user experience is the same?
Yeah, the user experience can be customized to the customer needs. It's integrated with Microsoft 365 or Google Calendar backend. It's just displaying the data and allowing the user to interact with the display. On this one though, you'll notice there are insights. We're leveraging sensors in the meeting space to provide the temperature, the humidity level, if someone is in the room right now. So provide.
Wait, whose panel is this, by the way?
Well, that's a good question. I wouldn't.
So it doesn't really matter.
It doesn't matter. We're trying to be as agnostic as possible.
And where do you get the sensor? Where's the sensor for this data?
So it can be sensors that are built in the codecs that exist in the meeting room, or external sensors that are placed in the ceiling or under the table.
Well, the reason I asked is like Logi just came out with a Spot. So you could interface that data from Spot into your platform.
Exactly, that's correct. That's the idea. So whether it's the Logi Spark or whether it's the Cisco codecs that have sensors built in, we will integrate with all those different sensors and then present the data back to the team member.
Okay, where are we heading next?
Well, we'll go down.
Can we go this way? All right, let's go around. We're gonna jump around these guys here. So what are you?
Maybe we'll start here.
All right.
That is a good continuity to where we were just. We were just looking about the scheduling panels that sit outside of the meeting room. Here is, for example, a device that sits on the desk. That's a docking station. And as a user, when you come into to the office and you book the desk, you can come here, scan your QR code, and check in on your phone, or make a reservation on your phone. Or if you directly dock in, we're going to pass the identity of the user based on the MAC address of the laptop, and we're going to make a reservation on behalf of the user. Okay. So this is a great example of removing friction, where as an employee, I no longer need to worry about reserving or checking in. I just dock in, and the whole process happens for me.
And so, in this case, I guess this means that as long as a room is not occupied at that moment, you could take control of that room.
If the desk, in this case it's a workspace, it's a desk, if the desk is a hot desk, which means you can just sit and book it, as soon as you plug it in, it books it under your name, it will show up on the little panel here, and in the back-end system, we're tracking who was sitting at that desk at that time, so we know who's using the workspace.
And is this compatible with anybody's, like Humley or whoever the brand might be?
I think that's the idea, whether those are desk pucks or whether those are docking station, we're trying to leave it down to the customer to select their preferred vendor. Of course, we have partnerships with people like Logitech, like Humley, like Cisco, but we can also work with other vendors that customers prefer.
Well, you're kind of treating this just like a Signage CMS in a way, but bi-directional.
That's a good point as well. This display here could display emergency messages, so if there's a fire alarm that goes on, we can use the panel to provide signage content to help the user know more. It can even be used for core comms. Every pane of glass can now be managed as a reservation service or as a comms messaging platform.
Yeah, including the displays that are in the room.
That's right. Including
All right. So what else?
the comms side of it. So Appspace has an app that's available as an iOS and Android app or a web app. We also have the first workplace experience app natively embedded in Microsoft Teams. So imagine you wake up in the morning, you pop up your Microsoft Teams client, and on the left bar you see Appspace, you click on it. In Appspace, you're going to see the latest company news. What's happening in the office today? Is there a company town hall? You're going to be notified which of your colleagues are coming in the office. So you know who's coming in and you decide, oh, well, maybe I want to come in that day. And then within the same app, you're going to be able to say, okay, for my journey in the office, I need a parking place, I need a smart locker to store my personal belongings, I need a desk for the whole day, and I need a meeting room at 10 a.m. and at 2 p.m. for my meetings that I have scheduled. And you're going to do all of that from the same app. As soon as you do that, assuming you're making that information public, your team members, your teammates are going to be notified that you've just decided to come in. And that may drive more people to say, well, I'm coming if Tom is coming, and so forth. And that creates that positive dynamic where the office is where you meet people, not where you just go and sit and work.
So if I am using the app inside of Teams, do I just log in through Teams and everything is automated from there?
That's correct.
That's a single sign.
And remove the friction. As an employee, I don't need to download another app. I don't need to go to a web browser. I just live in Teams, breathe in Teams, and everything in Appspace is available natively in Teams.
All right, so it's truly a software-based platform, kind of cloud and on-prem, as well as app-based platform that works with any of the collaboration companies.
That's really it. And this year is a big year for us because last year we announced Appspace Intelligence. This year we're releasing all the capabilities. If you're on the comms side, you're able to leverage Appspace Intelligence to help you generate content, engaging content that will show up on the digital signs, will show up in the employee app, will show up in Microsoft Teams channels. If you're on the workplace management side, you're going to be able to automate your workplace environment. As an employee, I'm going to be able to consume content the way I like it. So for example, I'm French speaking, from Belgium. When I open up the app, the content is presented to me in French. If I'm the kind of guy who commutes a lot, and I don't have the time to read through the news, I can listen to them. So we auto-generate podcasts of the content so that I can listen to a playlist of the latest company news. So as a user, I'm getting the best of...
You're customizing it for yourself.
And then from a workplace management, let's say I want to book a meeting room for the two of us to meet today at 2 p.m. in the Barcelona office. I just tell my intent to Appspace, find me a room at 2 p.m. with Gary in the Barcelona office. And it's going to check in our calendars when we're available. It's going to look for a meeting room that's free, and it's going to return that and say, do you want to book it? And if I click yes, it books it for me. So it's that user experience which is really seamless and frictionless all the way.
All right, so you can find out more at appspace.com. Go to ravepubs.com/ISE. Type in Appspace in the video search window to see demos of each one of these things we talked about. I really appreciate the tour. Thank you for your time. Congratulations. We got a lot more ISE 2025 to cover, so stay tuned.